Only you guys on TikTok knows this. This is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you so much for joining me this evening on Talking Sip Saturday night. Those on YouTube, those on Facebook, and those all over the world and wherever you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, it's a beautiful Saturday evening, second of a night. And this Saturday evening, I was actually having a street party. You know, this started from 2014 uh, with the Queen, the Jubilee, and some of these different things. But let's get the show started, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get the show started. Let's go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I had a false start earlier tonight, and the false start is whereby I opened up saying that here I am, and was going for it, and inviting myself on TikTok, inviting myself and telling people I'm on Facebook and on YouTube. And guess what? I didn't start. I didn't press the button to say start the show. But that is really good because it is better to to not have started and nobody's hearing you than to have started and not, whatever I'm saying. I'm here now. Um and I want to thank you so much for joining. And remember to like and subscribe. Good evening from Birmingham. Okay, Adriel, welcome from Birmingham. And where are you coming from in TikTok and on Facebook? You let me know where you are also coming from. But tonight is Talking Sip. And Talking Sip Saturday night, the concept behind it is to have a drink and have a conversation. Now, I have no idea where it's going to go. And hello, how are you? And tonight I had a street party, I had a men's breakfast early in the morning. And my wife said, can I manage it? Can I? And another mate said, you got to show up. And always hear this thing about you've got to show up. No matter what, always show up, in some respect. So here I am showing up. And I got this water here, this natural truly. I'm not promoting it or anything, but I like to drink something in the evening, and I'm not into any alcohol or anything like that. I have to go to church in the morning, but nevertheless, still, I'm not an alcohol drinker. And oh, sugar, I put it myself there. So I'm having coconut water. And I wet myself there. And if I'm asking you what you are having, tell me what you're having. I'm having coconut water tonight, and it's this thing called gin liqueur. Shimmering. But it's not for me, actually. No, it's not for me. It's actually for one of my neighbors who won a prize at the street party today. And I was keeping it. So this is on record that it's for her, not for me. You know what I'm trying to say? And of course, I'll always have some sparkling mineral water, which is it. So you're having coffee, isn't it? Is it Blue Mountain Coffee? Blue Mountain Coffee is a great coffee. I hope you. Is it Blue Mountain Coffee all the way from the hills in Jamaica? you know, there we are, having some nice, wonderful coconut water. It's not the real thing. A friend of mine is in Jamaica right now. They just messaged me, said I'm driving through Brownstown. It's not the real thing, but it is closer than closer. Wow, you're having coconut water as well. Now tell me, what type of coconut water is that? Is it like myself from the box? you know, or is it from the, what should I say, the real original live and direct coconut water? Tell me which one is it? And where well, I don't know, Mandy, where you Sorry, I don't know where. So, Adriel, I know where you're from. You're in Birmingham. So therefore, I guess it's not from Jamaica. um, Nescafe. You have a Nescafe. I tell you, Nescafe is great. One of the things I like with coffee as well. My good friend is Norman Washington Grant, former Senator Norman Washington Grant in Jamaica, and he's a top guy in the coffee business. But I like coffee, and I enjoy drinking coffee. And when I was small, Nescafe was nice. Nescafe was nice, and it's nice sometimes when you have it. What should I say? In How is it done? With evaporated milk. Evaporated milk is nice, actually. With it, what do you think? Um, yeah. Now so you have it in the box as well, Adriel. You have it in the box. Um, yeah, you have it in the box as well. Oh, that's all right. Version. What is the subject? What do you talk about? Guess not coffee. Nah. Tonight is talking sip, ladies and gentlemen, and Nazim Ladrish. It is very interesting. What do you talk about? Guess not coffee. No, it's coffee. Yeah, tonight is talking about coffee. Tonight we're talking about Nescafe coffee and talking about coconut water. And no, I'm just kidding. Well, tonight Talk and Sip resonates a lot and discuss issues affecting Jamaica. During the week, I tend to touch base on Thursday nights on some of the key issues which are affecting, um, what should I say, the UK. The UK is going through something now. Well, the world is going through something now at the same time. We just saw the ULEZ just came in recently. Um, you know People are reeling over it, some are tearing down some of these signs. Uh so in everywhere in the world there is something which is happening, right? There's some sort of uh tribulation for persons. I would say tribulation for persons may not be tribulation for all, you know and one of the things which they have. Who do you support, Russia or Ukraine? No, I'm not going to get into that now. Somebody's asking me just one question: who do you support, Russia or Ukraine? That's not the show tonight. And if I go to answer that question, I'll say I do not support Russia or Ukraine. I support peace. I support somehow that leaders of this world can have peace. Leaders of this world can be creative to create peace. Leaders of this world can actually listen to the people of the day and actually serve the people, but not their self interest. Okay, so I support the people of Russia and I support the people of Ukraine. I hope that answers that question very simply. Roasted coffee tried with coconut milk, the real coconut. Roasted coffee. Yeah, that, ladies and gentlemen. Adjules from Birmingham said, try roasted coffee. Try it with coconut milk, the real coconut. Of course, peace. But who is invader? I support people as well. Who is invader? Somebody asking me that question. I like TikTok, or TikTok tend to take you all over the world. Who is invader? I don't know. I'm not in Russia. I'm not in Ukraine. You know, who is the invader? You tell me, right? Who is the invader, right? I mean, you can go into places like Africa, yeah, talk about Niger, Gambia, these different countries, you know. Who are the invaders? You know, who are the invaders of Africa many years ago? Who are the invaders? You know, you know. Whose bombs are falling on Ukrainian cities? Tell me, Nizam Lardish. I don't think you actually want to have a discussion. I think you already know the discussion and you know the answers that you want. Tell me. The last time I invited someone from TikTok who came on and wanted to discuss some things, and they went over into some crazy things. The discussion tonight is not about whose bombs are falling in Ukraine cities. The discussion tonight is not about white people or black people. The discussion is about Jamaica at this present moment. The discussion is going to be about there's a company in Jamaica which is called SSL. It is a company which actually is what should I say? They were the ones that had the money for Usain Bolt, and that company somehow, in some respect, um, they said there's some scamming or some chopping which is going on, and as a result of the scamming and the chopping which was going on, many people lost their money. And lo and behold, there's a big thing going on now. They'll say that um, the government is bailing out SSL. You know, you know, yeah. Um, Nazim Lardish, person on TikTok. It's very interesting on TikTok when persons come on TikTok and these different platforms. They want to have their own moment and they jump on and they lead on their own subject. And because you don't engage with them, like what he's saying here now, they get a bit annoyed and frustrated. Sometimes I call these persons sad, right? Just like other persons say, I'm not scared to say, but are you? So, like I'll say to the person there at the same time, I'm not scared of you, of what you want, you know? Yeah. And so, as I said to you before, that's not the topic today. If you want that topic to be a topic, well, you've got to actually maybe do your own show or something like that. But yes, so yeah, SSL, that company is owned by, I'm waiting on a mate, somebody to come on actually on this show, and to because he mentioned something very, 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 very interesting about SSL because not deviating from who owns the SSL because I'm not sure as to who owns it now. But he said in the States, when there's a bank which goes down for some reason, the government will come in and will bail it out and will also pay off the staff or so, if anything. And and as a result of that, what they'll do is trying to keep or maintain, bless you, bless you, bless you, Nazim, um, try to keep and maintain the sort of status quo, maintain the peace, and keeping some sort of stability in the whole atmosphere and the whole financial sector. Because if they let it go down, it will cause a ripple effect and affect many other things. That's what I'm hearing. So what they do is they bail it out and they take their time to try to ensure that there's not much shaking within the financial sector. That is a point which is being mentioned. And and it's all a Ponzi. It's all a Ponzi. There we are. Somebody say it's a Ponzi system. So that's a well, a lot of things are Ponzi's. A lot of things are Ponzi's these days. Sometimes you even wonder if the banks are Ponzi. Sometimes you even wonder now with the whole advent of cashless society, where these places or these bank or the institutions will somehow have that massive control. Yeah, having that massive control over you, massive control over your life, massive control to a certain extent. You know, it. I don't wonder. It's a fair enough. Fair enough. You said it's a fact. No, I wasn't disputing with you that you say it's a fact. I'm just having a conversation as well. You know, one of the things I do not dispute or debate so much with persons that are online that actually I don't know, and they could be the owners of these companies, or they may know something that I don't know. So I won't dispute with you. If someone says that it's a Ponzi, that person believes it's a Ponzi, and for them it's a Ponzi, right? From they remove the gold to standard, there hasn't been any money. So people have their they know things more than I do. I pride myself that I'm ignorant in some respect, and create the platform that persons can discuss this. Uh, so the thing is that the way all this world is moving, and and many people are very anti the cashless society. Nigel Farage is anti the cashless society. Many people are saying it is going to you're going to be owned. You won't be able to control certain things, and I believe that as well. because when you're working from home, for argument's sake, and something with Virgin, you know, or something happens with O2 or whatever like that, you know, then there you go, waboom, you're totally messed up because you cannot do anything. Even in the court system, everything is online, and because of that, you cannot do anything because you're busted. Totally busted, ladies and gentlemen. Totally busted. And let me see if I um Andrea, the device is not connected. Yeah. Do I understand blockchain technology? I'm not gonna say that I understand it, and I'm happy to learn, but I hear a bit about it, if anything like that. You know, um, is it something I need to understand? Tell me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a couple persons that will come on later, and if you want to come on to the show, actually, you come on to YouTube. You know, yeah, there's an opportunity there. I can send you the link, and you can come straight in, and you can have a conversation. And if you even want to communicate and have a conversation on TikTok, you can. The only thing with TikTok I found out, and maybe I don't know, if someone comes to TikTok, and when they come onto TikTok and they become rude, and like a guy the other day was being very what should I say? He was being a bit very racial, I must say, or racist to a certain extent, and uttering certain remarks. I just did not know how to get him out. Not that I was offended by it, because nothing really offends me that much, but I wasn't able to get him out. Yes, you want to understand how dangerous a cashless society will be. Chechen blogger in English wishes you all the best, guys. I got to go out and enjoy. Enjoy your stay, Chechen blogger. Boom. Enjoy yourself. Yes, if you understand how dangerous a cashless well, if you tell me how dangerous it is, come on to come onto the page and let us know how dangerous the cashless society is. Um, because I'm not going to, I won't even dispute that that the the cashless society is. I don't know if it's dangerous, but I'll say it's restrictive. You know, because sometimes not having cash is an advantage, but everyone likes to know that there's choices. Yeah, everyone want to know that there are choices as well. And let me see if I can. Oh, Ashwag is here. Hey, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Yes,
You're
good afternoon.
oh, you are there. Okay, I got two persons in. That's get you there. I was trying to get you onto a speaker thing there, but I wasn't able to get you on a speaker. But go for that. I got somebody else on live. Go for it.
Yeah, so as it regards to the cashless society, from my research, right,
Yeah.
and just like what you said that you're ignorant to certain things, so am I as well. But that thing about the bank, I was just making a joke. But from what I understand, right, and with the system that they have in China, where they have the social credit score thing,
Yes.
I think that's what's dangerous about the cashless society. When if you commit an infraction on the street, they can just go into your bank account and take out the money without you
Shut
having any control.
and shut you down, isn't it?
Yeah, and they can restrict your traveling. They can restrict certain privileges and things that you can normally do. So I think that's the problem. Yeah, it's very the whole cryptocurrency thing was created so that we could actually be in control of our money. And the central bank digital currency system that they are bringing in is the total opposite, and it goes against everything that crypto was created for. Because
Yeah.
once the government can see what you're spending and they don't want to file any tax, they just take the tax out of your account and take everything that they want because they have full control over the system. So
so in some respect, at times, like I've got some bills sometimes that I like to have control over it, and I do not like to
yeah,
have the direct debit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I like to have a control over it. When they say direct debit, because they just want to control things, and I said, no, just let me sort it out myself. If a day
yeah,
before, a day after, or so. So what? what we are seeing is that it's controlling, isn't it? Giving you less offer, less choices, isn't it?
Yeah, and automation is good because it's convenient at times, but they weaponize that convenience. That's what they're doing because when they make it very convenient now, everybody is going to just give up their rights because that's what they do. They manufacture the situation and then they create a reason so that we can have less rights.
Uh,
And that's the trend that I have been seeing happening. So I don't think this digital currency. You see, if they were doing it in a way, like if they were doing it in a way like oh, we have cryptocurrency, and you know that if I have some Bitcoin in my wallet, you can come in my wallet and take out my Bitcoin unless you have my keys.
yes, yes.
If they were doing it in a way like that now, I could say, well, yes, this sounds like something that would be good for society, but they are not doing it like that. They are going to do it in a way where they can backdoor the transaction and cancel it, or they can freeze your account.
Do you think this is one of the reasons why they were so anti the um crypto, and then all of a sudden they are doing somewhat of the same thing but in a different way to have control, isn't it?
Yes, that's exactly what they're doing. That's exactly what they're doing because they realize that they cannot stop. They cannot stop the revolution of cryptocurrency. So the central bank digital currency thing now is their way to let the. Like, remember, as in life, you're going to have people who understand a topic very well, and then you're going to have a lot of people who don't understand. So the people who don't understand now, they are going to be the ones putting large sums of their money in this digital currency. And they don't understand that once they do that, the government have control over it. While they're going to have the people that are smart that are going to have Bitcoin and all the other cryptocurrencies.
and
So
and they know exactly where you are, isn't it?
yeah,
Can I
it's
can I
going
tell
to
you
be
can I tell you this? Even though I said I didn't know much, but years ago when Bitcoin was at £1, £2, yeah, I still beat myself over it. I was at a network marketing event, and in London here, I can't remember what year, and some people came in the room or in the hotel section there,
yeah,
and they were all doing this thing called Bitcoin, you know, money in electronic form, and we laugh at
yeah.
it, Virgin. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. These Bitcoin thing was selling like £50 for 50 50 Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you know. And we always talk about this all the while when we're into meetings. I'm talking about like £1 for one, but they were selling in blocks of 50 or 100, but never.
Yes, so I'm very young.
Huh?
I'm very young.
Yeah.
I'm very young. I'm 23 years old, right?
Okay. Yes.
And I've seen videos of people cheering when Bitcoin reached like $1.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa, those people who sold at $1, they must feel insane right now when they saw when it went to 60,000
Yes.
US for one coin during the pandemic.
Yes. No. No.
It's
Definitely.
crazy.
Definitely. And and it talks about we're in a risk averse country, not country, but world in a way where risks are being taken. Are you in Jamaica?
Yes, I'm in
Okay,
Jamaica.
well, thanks. I'm Jamaican now, so I'm straight out of Ochi. You know?
Same place I come from as well.
You're from Ochi?
Yeah, man.
What? Straight out of Ochi. Everybody could. My listen. I was at a prayer breakfast this morning, and my son is 16, and they said, I said, people tell us where you're from, wherever you're from. Everybody was telling where they're from. My son, born in the UK here, you know what I'm saying? He come from Jamaica, Ochi.
Because you understand the presence that you bring off once you mention that you're from Jamaica. And you
Yeah,
know you have to all across the world.
yeah, yeah. But like my show on a Saturday night. I've got somebody from Jamaica on because I'm on the YouTube thing at the same time. But I find TikTok very of all the platform I've been going on. TikTok can draw you out, and you go down a particular route, but I don't mind going down your route, but I didn't want to go down that other route talking about Chechnya and Ukraine and Russia. I don't
Yeah, that
that
is too far for us to deal with.
yeah, me
We
no
have, we have our own problem over here.
yeah, yeah. We are talking about Africa, Gambia, and Niger. Yeah, me talk, but we
Yeah.
can't deal with them things right now. Sorry, that's not on my
And as you speak about Africa,
yeah.
I love what is going on over there because I'm paying keen attention to what is going on with the coups that is happening in Africa.
Now, let's just flow with this. Let's just flow with this because I believe everything relates. I believe Jamaica becoming a republic and all the discussion and what's happening in Africa and the people are waking and people are making noise. I
Yeah,
think something is happening, and rightly as you say, you are excited. And at 23, I'm 54. At 23, I find that the young persons these days are so sharp. You understand? And I never look down on young persons when they are speaking these days because information is at the tip of their finger,
yeah,
right? And sometimes some of the things which you guys know now, and I look back now and I say, wow, because at the time when I was at 21, 22, 23, I was just leaving Jamaica, and we never had internet, bro. We never had mobile. When I came to England, there was a mobile. I always wonder up to this day, how did it work? How did we move from place to place? We had to go and stand up with your phone at your bedroom or something like that, and I wait till your sister finish the phone, go talk to your girlfriend or something
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
So tell me now, with Africa, what are you seeing happening there? What's your sense there with the whole
So
horizon? Yeah.
what I'm seeing happening in Africa, based off from my observation, I think they are trying to move towards. They are trying to make Africa into one nation because this divisive things where you have a country, it would come like you have Montego Bay and you have Westmoreland and Nigel right there, and,
Yeah.
you're saying it's a different country.
Yeah.
And by doing that, you're able to have these small beefs and you're not able to unite. I was speaking to a friend about this last night and I was saying, you know, when the slaves came to Jamaica, one of the reasons why they take so long to start the rebellion and this whole thing was because they didn't speak the same language.
Yes.
And I was saying to him, say, what if one day Africa unite and everybody on the continent speak one language? That would be so powerful. So
Mm.
what I'm seeing in Africa, I'm really excited about it because I'm seeing where they finally get into the mindset where they're realizing that why are we going to these little poor countries like America to beg when we are so rich
Yes.
in our soil? Why are we going abroad to these little countries when we have everything in the dirt? It's time for us now to get rid of these corrupt leaders because some of the leaders have been in power for 20 years.
The last one, I think, is it Gambo? Is it Gambo? Gambo? What's it
No,
called?
it's
Is
I
it?
saw it recently too. It's slipping me as well.
Yeah, I always mix it with Gambia. Gambo. That
But I know what you're talking. It's the latest coup you're talking about.
the guy has been there. The family has been there for 50 years,
Exactly.
and the guy was
It's
trying to
like
get his son. He was trying to get his son to become the next one.
yeah, look how much money they found and all this stuff that they found while the people are suffering. It's crazy. It's crazy, and especially because for me, I watch a lot of podcasts. I'm curious about military history and that kind of stuff. And when I learn how the American military goes about really doing, like how they interfere globally in elections and in different countries in the world, I really look at it and I'm like, whoa, they install these people to oppress the people. Because if you notice, every time there is some kind of coup going on, they always send their soldiers over there to quell it, or if they want to get someone removed, they send their soldiers as well to start the revolution to get that person removed. It's a lot of dirty tricks they have been playing on the people. So I love what is going on. They're taking back the countries one by one.
So, well, can I ask? Can I ask you this question then? Over the years, you have various coups, right, in
Yeah,
different countries in Africa, and generals come up, and all of a sudden they find out that America was behind them, or some other Western country was behind them. I mean, look at Iraq for argument's sake. Uh,
yeah,
Saddam was in bed with the Americans at one point. Remember,
yeah.
you know,
Bin Laden as
Bin
well.
Laden, Bin Laden as well. My only thinking, I look thinking in the back of my head is that I just hope that they're on a new thrust, on a new wavelength than their previous persons who are coup masters. because
Yeah.
eventually they got out, and they get rid of these old guys who have been there for years, raping the country, sending off their money into Swiss accounts and all over the world. And when they get sick or so, they don't go to their country. Instead of creating the money that they're making, instead of creating some top-notch hospitals, they rather to take plane to go to France or USA or whatever. Do you think at any time that these leaders may follow suit, or do you believe it's a new wave?
I think it's definitely a new wave because
Mm.
this guy, what's his name? Ibrahim Traore.
Yeah.
It's the first time I've actually seen an African leader talk about it and actually saying it like, why is Africa suffering and they have so much wealth? Why are they going across the borders to beg? And the steps that I have been seen taken where they seize some of the gold. I don't remember. They seized a lot of gold that was supposed to be shipped to France and stuff.
Yes.
And I'm saying like it's different this time because you can see that this guy is not necessarily like he's not about the power. It's about the money.
Mm.
It's about the money and the wealth of the country. A lot of the past persons that did coups, they wanted just the power. You can see that this guy actually has a plan, and the next guy from South Africa. I won't repeat what he said on the live.
Yeah.
But you see, once you cross that line where you said that, they know that I know that they are serious now. It's not a nice thing to say, but the fact that they said it, I know that they are serious because at the end of the day, you have to care about your people first.
Yes.
Because that's what America do. They don't care about anybody else. They are a powerful nation. They just go around the world, bully people. So now it's time for you to care about your people first and everybody else last. That's just how life is.
Yeah. I did a video the other day, and the video was about you know the president of Gambia was saying, make some noise, make noise, make noise, come on everybody, make noise. Huh?
I saw it.
Yeah, so make noise. And I just pick it up and say, let's break this thing now. And I sort of put the bigger picture by saying a lot of people over the years have been making noise to their leaders. These leaders were elected by them to take care of them. Yeah. And they have been making noise to these leaders to say, help me sort this out. And somehow,
Begging for years.
huh?
They have been begging for years.
For years. You know, but these guys don't come out when they come out to election and kissing babies and everything like that and make you feel good. Even though at the same time, these guys already planned the whole thing and they want to go for life. Do you think these things? I'm not going to ask you a political affiliation or whatever like that, but in Jamaica, let's use Jamaica for argument's sake. A lot of people are making noise, and some cannot make noise because they're not in a position to make the noise because of the financial and the economic situation, and because they don't want to rock the boat, because if people see them and blah blah blah, they might, them hungry still. You know what I'm trying to say? Do you think there's an awakening happening in Jamaica, or do you think this is a signal to governments, the Caribbean and countries like that?
All right. So in Jamaica, I
Yeah.
once read a quote from a famous, I think it was a Greek philosopher, and he was saying something about that democracy only works if the population is educated.
Yes.
And I think in Jamaica, we have a problem where that is concerned.
Yes.
A lot of people have this mindset of voting for green and orange.
Yes.
They're not voting for policies. So that's a big problem in Jamaica. So I think the political situation in Jamaica right now, it's just all the people with the power, they just abuse it and it just goes unchecked because on both sides they are really looking out for themselves while the people bicker about the little petty things going on instead of look what they are actually doing. Because even this recent SSL thing, that's crazy. It's madness. But then again, with the social pressures, with the economic situation and the poverty and all these things, a lot of people don't really have time to understand what is going on. And then if you understand, you have been demoralized. So you just think that you can't have any effect on it, so you're not even vote. So it's just going downhill in Jamaica, but hopefully, don't know what is going to happen, but I'm hopeful that something change.
Who own SSL? Somebody had asked earlier. Is the government now control it, or is it the guys them
I
that
don't know who owns it, but the last article I read about it, I read something where Nigel, what's his name, was
Clark
saying something about that the
the
government is going to control the salaries now. I'm like saying, like if this thing is going so bad, why don't you guys just close it down? What kind of thing is this you're going to say that this is going to cost the taxpayers $14 million a month? Like like I didn't have any money invested in there. Why should I have to pay for it?
somebody said to me earlier today, and I was hoping that he came on and to sort of shed some light onto the world reasons why. Is that this happened in the States at times whereby major companies with lots of money involved in it, if they shut them down or close them down right away, it will create such a massive ripple in the financial sector that it will like a boomerang and affect others. So it's like they're trying to keep it kosher. I'm not saying this is really, they're trying to keep it kosher to sort of have some level of stability and then eventually deal with it. However, at the same time, when you see the teachers from CAST or UTEC demonstrating want money and so like that, and when you hear also that they, and this is the interesting bit, when you hear the Bank of England, Bank of Jamaica governor is saying that people should, the companies who are trying to pay their staff a lot should exercise some restraint, some caution. Yeah, you're gonna get inflation. I like. So
It's crazy.
so shouldn't they just shut down SSL then, and so that won't create no inflation?
No
Since they
man,
don't pay no money.
no man, they're friends. Remember, their friends lost
Yeah,
their friends lost some money in SSL, so they have to help out. Friends help out friends.
yeah.
So it's just so the system work. But when you really think about the whole governments and the whole thing, you have to understand that I read the book called Meteor Strawman,
Mm.
and it was one of the most eye-opening books that I read. And I found out that these governments and all these things, it's all business at the end of the day.
Yes.
It's all business. Jamaica is a corporation, so is the United States, so is all the other countries. It's just business.
Yeah.
And the people are looking at it thinking that it's some democracy that we elect. They don't understand.
Yeah.
It's just business.
Yeah. Hold a second. Hold a second. Hi, Andrew Ashrak.
Hello. Hello.
How are you doing? You
Hi.
good? You're right.
I'm
Yeah.
good.
I'm swamped by Jamaica. Are you from? Are you notorious?
No, I'm not in Austrians.
Not in Ochi. And I'm talking to someone on TikTok. He's from Ochiris, so I'm in good
He's
company.
from? I don't think he's there. No.
You don't think he's in Ochiris now?
No.
You're not in Ochiris now, are you? No. Online on TikTok. What's your name? Sorry, I didn't get the. What's your name again? On TikTok.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not in Honduras currently,
Oh,
but
not in
I
Ochiris.
was, yeah,
Okay. Can you stay on for a bit? Yeah.
sure.
Okay. I might link you into a speaker, another speaker, if anything. But Ashrak, how are you? You good?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm here.
Yeah. I just have a conversation a while ago with my colleague here, and we briefly touched on SSL. As you know, I put teachers via SSL because that's the biggest thing which is going on in Jamaica now, because a lot of people were saying that the Ministry of Education or the minister, that a lot of teachers are going to resign, and they see a lot of them resign, even though there are news reports coming out saying at least it is less than the amount resigned the last time, even though it's 800. Um, and then I juxtapose it with teachers versus SSL. Mean to say, while teachers like in SCAS or UTEC trying to get money, but the government is paying so much over into SSL. What's your take on that? While I'm going to try to bring in my colleague here on a speaker. Yeah.
These are not the teachers were actually demonstrating at UTEC. Technical workers. They said everybody has gotten their money and they need to get theirs too. So it's not really teachers.
Oh, so who are these persons at SCAS? UTEC, right? Sorry.
Technical personnel who work alongside teachers and work in labs, all of these people, they say that they have not been paid and they want their money and they want there some money that they're supposed to get. They called a particular thing and they wanted it They want it retroactive to, I think it's 2017, and they
2017.
want it by October.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
So,
So
so
they're
what?
looking at like that. Everybody has been dealt with except them. They're not been dealt with, and they need to be dealt with. They're part of the system. So that was what it was
So,
for them. Which is
so it's
right. Which is right.
so it's a bit like what Andrew Stevens said. They want their partner draw.
Want the partner draw, yes. And they want the partner draw retroactive to 2017 by
Yes.
October
Yeah.
month end. That would be
Can
right.
I just on TikTok? Yes.
Come on, I'm still here.
Okay. Good. Good. So I
I'm
didn't get
hearing
your
you.
name.
I heard it,
No. What I did, I put him on a speaker, so his voice is elevated. What's your name again? Sorry, let me just get your name. I'm trying to find your name.
My name is Jim.
Are there so many names here? Jamaican. A13. Not that you. No.
Yeah, my TikTok name
You
is
don't see it on his thing on
Okay.
TikTok?
Okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. Yes. Yes. Okay. We got that there. So you're saying it's not a teacher thing then. It's a technical thing.
No, it's not really teachers there. Technical staff. Technical staff.
Yeah.
Um, with well, you see the garbage that the esteemed, quote unquote, esteemed honorable, quote unquote, Nigel Clark came up with. We,
We,
the Jamaican public, the tax-paying Jamaicans,
yes.
are now tasked with the enviable task of paying 14 million each month. I mean, it's not actually giving a timeline on how long this is to facilitate the investigation. So they have to keep the entity afloat, and for as long as the investigation lasts. And so, what we're actually being asked to gladly pay is the cost it will take
Yeah. Your
to
call
keep
is coming.
them,
Yeah.
and we're also being asked to pay the legal costs. The
Is this 40
legal
million
costs.
Jamaican dollars? It's 40 million Jamaican dollars we're talking.
It includes about that, right? Each month,
Jamaican dollars, yes.
each month. So it's going to cover legal costs too. So we're paying for the lawyers of these persons. I don't know how
Taxpayers.
yeah, taxpayers are going to be doing that.
All right.
So we were never there when people were using this place as a Ponzi scheme, when
Mm.
persons were investing and putting up what was in there.
Yes. Yep.
And, but I said to somebody, I said, listen, he said that, yes, he said that on a Friday,
Yeah.
right? And I think it was done deliberately, the Friday. He wouldn't have kept it for the Monday because the weekend is going to come and people can't bother to retaliate or come out on the weekend because it's a little rest time or a little time to
Yeah.
do it, a little things or whatever. So he just sneaked it in on yesterday on the Friday, right?
Yeah.
But for the man to have the testicular fortitude to even come and suggest that speaks of how they see us,
Uh,
how they perceive us. We must be a bunch of idiotic citizens who are so dumbed down that whatever they say that we are supposed to do, we're going to do it because they say it must be done. So
yeah.
it is being obedient to tyranny, you know. And but I am not hearing enough people fired up. I've seen quite a few posts about for them on TikTok. I'm not hearing enough persons fired up about it. I'm just waiting on Monday to see which, if any, private sector is going to say something about this. Any bodies that are in place are going to come out saying something about it, and then I'll know. I mean, exactly who might be paying these taxes
All
because
right.
some might be exempted.
All right. Hold on. Okay. Thanks for that. Jamaican 13. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think?
I
Sorry. Go on. You go ahead first, and I'll ask a question after.
yeah, I just wanted to say to her that I know the private sector will say anything because again, They are all friends. They all watch each other and pat each other back. So this week, I can't wait for Monday just like her. I want to see what is going to happen. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. No, the question I was going to ask you was like what Andrea said earlier about that not seeing many people rise up and waiting for Monday. But do you think that people are so exhausted and tired and can't bother, and then those who are able to withstand the weather, the activists and the advocacy experts are the ones only who are making noise. And after a while, it's like people are saying, Adam alone, I make noise. Jamaica, all right. And I mean, people went to Chris Brown the other day, and and people are now saying, Jamaica, all right, man. Everybody go Sky View.
Yeah. So it's just it's crazy. It's crazy when I really look at it that I see a lot of people have TikTok and they have the internet and they have all these tools,
Mm.
but they don't understand a thing. A concept I like to. I didn't create it, but I learned about it. It's called information there, right? It's like oh, when I am on social media, I'm looking what is going on with the coup in Mali and all these countries and what is going on geopolitically all over the world and stuff and reading the news about finance and all this stuff. A lot of people they don't have time for that. They're distracted with the entertainment, they mix up what is going on,
Yeah.
which artist do this, which artist do that. So the people don't have really time to focus on it, and then again the next thing I say to is the poverty. The pressure of the poverty and worrying about where your next meal coming from is a thing that affect a lot of Jamaicans. So they don't even have time to really look at what is going on. So the few little people that is talking up and down, the persons in power just look at it and be like, isn't it just it's just a minor thing.
Yeah.
Eventually the few little people talking will have to stop talking. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah. Somebody said on TikTok that's so true. But Andrea, I mean, in Africa, what we are seeing now, even though the army uh led the way and led the charge, and you see lots of people are coming out and really celebrating at the same time. That's a noise that the guy is hearing. Gabon president or ex-president is hearing. He's not hearing no noise calling for him to come back. They're calling noise for him to go and maybe to stay away the celebration. But do you think at the same time that people need to be inspired to a point and motivated that whether them hungry or not, they need to actually stand up looking out for the future generation? Because I don't think we can keep saying this. Don't worry, don't get me wrong. If it is a fact and it's a reality, it is a reality. But I don't think we should keep continuing saying this. Boy, enough people can't bother now because they might try make ends meet and they might try serve their family. But if we continue along that way, the government and these guys will see that and just say, give them 7 days, not even 9 days. Andrea,
So what's going on in Africa right now?
sorry?
I'm a little. For what's going on in Africa right now?
Yeah.
I am a little excited. That's a little bit.
Yeah.
And because and then I'm pragmatic because
Yeah.
upon looking into these places
Mm.
and the kind of differences that these particular countries, even in one country, you have about 20, 30 different tribes, speak a different language. Communication is going to be a barrier. Okay. Now, if I am from a particular tribe and I'm doing something, I try to enrich my tribesman. I don't try to put it out and make it reach everybody. That's a communication and this and how you disseminate wealth or gains is another aspect to it, right? Um, it comes down to how do you get cohesiveness between such a huge and diverse um set of people and country. What we call it again? Africa is a not, but that's a country. We call it Africa is a what? Why? It's not
Continent.
where
It's
they're
a
coming from.
continent. It's a continent.
Mhm. a
Is that
continent. Okay.
is the continent in it?
Now, now the sad part about a lot of it is a lot of these presidents, particularly in the French-speaking parts of there, that's the places that they have Caucasian wives,
Yes.
right? So it speaks to something else. Okay. Now, I am not seeing, I am seeing my people, may I call them my people, looking for assistance. And I think I said it before that I was a little bit dumbed down and hurt
Yeah.
when Putin made that speech at that summit that they had in South Africa, right?
Yeah.
Where the highlight of his speech was the grains, belly lifting with Africans. It was the grains that he
Yeah.
brought and the grains that they were going to get and they're not going to pay for and all of that. And I said, no, 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 no. As I said to you before, when I saw Ibrahim Traore and all of them other strong black presidents, whether they're president by coup or by election, it doesn't matter, or
Yeah.
selection,
Yes.
they were down in the audience being spoken to by Putin. The only I think only black person up there was the South African
South African
president,
president.
who is
Yeah.
a puppet, who he thinks that he ought to be president for the whole of Africa,
So you think
right?
that,
But
the South African president is a puppet? I'll come back to you on Jamaican on that one as well. Yeah. Go on,
he's a
Angela.
puppet.
He's a
He's
puppet.
a
Yeah.
puppet. So when I saw these presidents and people sitting down in the audience and being spoken to, I said, no, we never had a voice at the table in the UN and all of these European things or worldwide things. We never
Mm.
our presence was the most in all of these forums. We had the most presence, but it
Yeah.
was not significant for representation. It was that they bought our votes. They enticed us to vote along the lines. A particular nations wanted us to vote. So we never had anybody at the table. And even doing this now, big, strong, handsome Ibrahim is not up there with Putin at the table. I was really upset about that. You understand?
Yes.
I'm seeing now where Niger is saying that the ambassador or the whole thing must be locked down for France and they should leave. They've been giving them so many deadlines that they're not adhering to, and they're saying they're not leave. Well, they have now taken away their immunity, the immunity that they would have as ambassadors. They stripped them of that, right? And they I think they locked the water off now and their power supply. So
Sorry.
I don't know what
Lock
happened.
off food. Lock off food's water and who's power supply.
The embassy, the French embassy that's in Nigeria.
Okay. They shut them. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh,
because they give them time, they're not coming out and they're saying that it is theirs and they have a right to be there, and Macron is behaving like a god and whatever. So they gave them some more time, and then so the final what they had to resort to was strip them of their immunity, which I do hope when they're coming out, they keep them protected. I don't want anything to happen to them.
yeah.
They strip off their immunity and they have in actuality turned off water and electricity, right, to them, right? But I am not really enthused because there's too many things to be said and done to
Yes.
get this on track anywhere at all.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be it's not just no, because I think they ought to get rid of the old guys. And
Yes.
I'm not sure if coup d'etat is a real way to go to instill presidents or prime ministers or whatever, because there's a saying that goes, power
Corrupt.
corrupts
And
and
absolute power
absolute
corrupts.
power corrupts absolutely.
Absolutely.
And
All
these
right.
are young,
Yeah.
ambitious
Yeah.
African men.
Yeah. Okay. Just to bring that point, when we're talking about
Mhm.
people actually rising up and not focus so much upon them belly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Rosa Parks was in the same financial situation as most Jamaicans, but she never gave up. That's what somebody just said a while ago on TikTok. Rosa Parks was in the same financial situation as most Jamaicans, but she never gave up. Dean Murray, thank you so much for coming on Night. And for those who are joining me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, welcome, and just say hi or something like that, and be joining the conversation as well. If you want to come in, you can come in. I want to go back to Jamaican. Um, that point that Andrea mentioned a while ago about Africa and not while excited, cautiously excited. What's your take on that point, and especially the South African president?
Yeah, Anja made some good points as well.
Yeah.
The same thing I was talking about earlier, that the Africa needs to be united as one country, like one continent, instead of
Mm,
these breaking up of different countries.
mm,
So she made some great points, but she made a point about President Putin on the stage while the other leaders are in the audience.
mm.
What I would like to say to Anja is that this is a chess game. You see, representation and power is two different things. Representation, it's okay to look like you're in the conversation. What's the point of being in the conversation if you cannot exercise any power?
Mm.
So what I see Putin doing, where he's giving Uganda nuclear missiles, that's a whole different kind of ball game now. So
Yes.
the way I see Russia moving, of course, nobody is giving anything for free.
Mm.
But at least I can see that Russia is moving in the best interest of Africa.
Mm.
Because because you see the nuclear weapon, it's a big deal that a lot of people don't understand that this thing is chess, you know.
Mm.
That's what America normally do. They normally assassinate the leaders of these countries. But no, you have to think twice before you assassinate the leader of a country when they possess nuclear power. So it's a lot of details and a lot of moving parts on the chessboard that you have to understand and don't get caught up in the optics. Get caught up is what is really happening on the ground. And the stuff that's going on at the embassy, you have to understand that it's escalation. You can't just get up and say, all right, they're going to go in there with force and remove these people, and
Mm.
then France have a reason now
Get them out.
to start a war with you, and so yeah, it escalation, it's chess. It's not checkers, it's not you move, then I move. You have to be thinking 10 steps ahead. So what Nigeria is doing is I understand when you say she's moderately excited, but you have to understand that this is a slow game, because you see if you move too fast and don't dot your eyes and cross your T's,
Yeah.
the whole thing will go up in flames. So I think we just need to be patient and just observe what is going on.
What do you think that the people in Africans, when I say Africans, we us, a friend of mine sent me something the other day, and this is what he said. Um, um, Let me just find his message, because a lot of people, not everybody is saying many things, and what he said is that uh it's a time that we have a united Africa and the diaspora. The only thing that we have in common with US and UK is slavery. I believe that Africa want to include us in their revolution. Look to Africa if we are wise. You know, we have gathered enough experience to mobilize people to a united Africa, Caribbean, and American nations. And went further and said, unfortunately, our people are asleep as they get caught up with celebrities and they're not with the program. You know, um, the role that us can play at this point, because we are all a part of the world. I believe that we play a big part in this whole process. And as what you said earlier, and Andrea alluded to it about the different languages, but you're talking about if there can be some common ground, common language to create that united factor, it will make a big difference, and us all coming together to show that we're not begging, we have the resources. Because right now in Guyana, I was speaking to someone in Guyana, they found oil, yes, but the company that is doing it is some American company.
Okay.
So
I
so
rest my case.
huh?
So listen.
Go on.
Let's not be delusional.
Yes.
Let's not try to, in our excitement, and
Yeah.
and saying, okay, Africa will be, we need to look at the facts as they are presented, or as they exist in front of our eyes. To
Yeah.
ignore them, to ignore them
Yes.
Life is not okay. We should not only be binary in our thinking.
Yes.
Okay, we have to be nuanced in how we think.
Mm.
Okay, no, um, black and white is things are not also black and white, are good or bad. Many things exist, and I am saying this that when I look in Africa, when I look in South Africa, there's a place in South Africa that is called Orania. Orania is a white only place that they're going to have a kickback now because they want to become a republic within South Africa. No blacks are allowed inside Orania in the 2023. In 2023,
How do you
in
spell it?
on
I'm
a
just gonna
black,
research it while we're talking.
yeah
Arania.
man, Orania,
Oh,
Orania, Orania.
yeah,
It's in
yeah.
South
Go.
Africa, and no blacks are allowed inside there. They are self-sufficient. They do everything for themselves. The only Caucasian persons. I
Yes.
find that I find that very anti everything in my melanated existence.
Mm.
That you can come on my African land continent, and you're going to tell me that I mean I'm not going to say Mandela. I'm going to say Mandela's wife.
Mm.
Cause she keep Mandela alive all those years, those
Mm.
decades, With the Winnie. Winnie should have been given more than she was given by Mandela.
Mm.
Okay? Or by the world. Because if she wasn't fighting the fight to keep this man alive for all those decades in the memory and the awareness of humanity, he would have just gone like the others of them who were there and became irrelevant. And she was dealt
Mm.
with like that. But that's a different story. In South Africa, where Winnie and Nelson and all them other Africans, fighters, right, for freedom of
Mm.
black people, lost their lives. You are telling me that there is allowed to be, are you finding Marina yet?
Yeah, I found
You,
it. Let me
there's
play.
allowed to be.
Let me play something on Arania for a second
Mm-hmm,
there, and
mm-hmm.
it's very interesting. I'm seeing some bits here. I think I've saw something on it already, but I'm just seeing it now, and I'm gonna see if I can play it aloud. I'm just share it here, share the screen. Arania, South Africa, white only town.
And they want to be
Right.
a republic now.
All right. Listen. Uh,
To enter this rural South African town, similar to so many others. But very quickly, the uniqueness of Orania is obvious. Here, everyone is white. Nestled in the Karoo, a semi desert area lost in the middle of the country, its population of 2,500 Afrikaners are descendants of Dutch and French Huguenots who arrived in the 17th century. Here, people say they're not racist, they only want to live amongst themselves.
What we experience is a lot of de facto recognition. You go your way, you do your thing. We're not trying to block it or to frustrate it.
The small town prides itself on having broken with colonial labor practices, which consisted of using cheap black labor for
okay. Okay. I just stop it there for purpose of copyright. Go on. Go ahead now.
Okay.
There it is.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
mm-hmm.
Mm.
So, and that is not. There are many little places like that like Australia that exist on the African continent, and now they're saying that they're going to. The only problem they have now is they want to become a republic. They want to
Mm.
become a republic, but they
Within South
might get a
Africa.
kickback. They want to become a republic. No, there are many other places like this. I am telling you right now that the only reasons there are some white people now, me even if I'm TikTok here with them, and they're trying to embrace me and saying, and I'm that by no means. Let me tell you, race or color prejudice, but I have to be a realist, okay? Because we have to follow everything. Now, I don't if you know that um middle class is cut out. Middle class is cut out. So most of these Caucasian persons are realizing that they're not privileged anymore to any exclusion of particular
Mm.
things. They are now put down with us as being
Yes.
too poor to be recognized. So middle class cut out. So all of a sudden you're trying to come to be inclusive and you want to be a part. I do not want to be a part of you.
Yes.
I
All right.
do not. It tells me I have to be separated.
Yes.
I am not going to fool myself. There are too many things there right now to be dealt with. The only thing I can say is that they should not have turned to Russia and China. It's biblical, you know. I told you before, it's biblical.
Whoa.
It's biblical.
Stick up in right there. And Jamaican, come into this and I pick up a couple of points on TikTok. You heard what Ashok said. Shouldn't have turned to Russia.
I'm like, why shouldn't we have turned to Russia when Russia is the country that is giving Africa the aid that it needs in the real way? Russia is the only country that is not really trying to. Of course, everybody wants something, right? But Russia is actually trying to do. Russia and China. Mhm. And China is actually trying to do something to benefit the continent. So if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. You have to understand. It's what I was saying earlier. This is not a game of just, all right, then we feel like this, so we're just going to do this. You have to move tactical about it. You have to understand that the persons who we are fighting against are superpowers in the world. And without you establishing certain things, just on the military level alone, you can't just go back into a superpower like that and think it's going to be smooth sailing. It's power talk on the world stage. It's
So,
not how you feel,
yeah.
it's power.
So
And,
yeah. Go on. Sorry. Please carry on. Yeah.
and the next point that she was making about South Africa, where she was saying that the president for South Africa is a puppet. Did you not hear what that man said? Did you not hear the chat that man said? You think that man is playing? The chat that he said, I don't want to say it on TikTok, but I'm sure you're aware what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So that man is definitely moving towards the direction of putting his people first.
All right. Okay. 1 second. It's good to hear different voices on TikTok as well. Someone just said that the French is worried as their economy is upheld by the resources of Africa, and and a person said the problem is Orania is like a country within a country. Isn't that similar to the Maroons? Wanting to be a country within a country. Let's not. We don't have to go there. Until the color of a man's skin has no more significance than the color of his eyes. Um, Wart. Mandela folded and gives in to the pressure of the powers that be and
Mm-hmm.
abandoned the lady that kept. Winnie Mandela kept Nelson relevant and the powers that be. Somebody said that earlier. One of you guys said that earlier, isn't it? And the powers that be cancelled her. So Jamaica, a lot Ashraf is coming out with the whole thing regarding what's happening here. Uh, one person was saying that it is like you're swapping black dog for monkey because in a way, what someone was saying that Russia is like maybe the West caused the whole thing to happen recently regarding the the gentleman who died on the in the helicopter in the plane. It was like saying this is the type of guy you're gonna hang out with. This is the type of guy you guys want to hang out with, and but somebody said again, but why not? Why not the West? Why not the African countries can also have relationship with who they want to have relationship with? As Jamaicans say, it's about chess and build those bridges. America can't go on. Yeah.
So this one thing quickly. It's the same thing in America where they feel like the black people have to vote Democrat.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
Yes. Yes.
Listen, listen, listen.
Well, listen. Well, listen.
Um, people have a habit of saying to us, or saying Russia didn't Russia didn't colonize Africa and
Yes.
Russia this and Russia that. I'm gonna tell them one thing. Russia colonized Africans in on on the plains of Russia who were there. Ask Russia how they got. Ask because I think all of these things ought to be returned to Africa too. All of those African artifacts that they possess, all of those books that they possess, who are the people in Russia prior to, before the arrival of who we now call the Russians, the whole USSR thing. People don't do deep history. Fine, all right. So excuse that. I am saying I have no issue. I say okay, if you're going to use Russia, it's for proxy war because the presence of Russia looming with you or standing with you or saying they're there with you. Remember, Russia had said to them, initially when it all started, Russia said to them, you would have to sort this out on your own, right? It was further down in discussion now that Russia came and it said, okay, to me, it's a proxy thing. I am here. So my presence, the presence of a bully, will keep France off for right now and keep whomever off and keep UN off, keep United States off, and keep Europe off. Fine. No, use them as proxy. Since they want to use us, because nobody comes and excuses $32 billion. Nobody comes and does what they do without a reason. And if you are going to do that, you have to be seeing where you can make exponentially a lot more than what is it, what you excuse. So, but then apart from that, there's a vengeance that Russia
Yeah.
needs to help Africa to play out, to wake up, to play out, right? And it is this. Hear what it is. It's America
Yes.
destroyed the Nord Stream pipeline. So remember, the sub-Saharan Africa now, they've invested $13 billion, right? And they started this project from when? So it is now being enacted. And so he's saying now, let us get this thing up and running again. Let us start back the project of running this pipeline through Nigeria, through Niger, through Algiers, out to the sea, into Europe, right? No. They were told, don't make this happen. No. And Nigeria said, listen, it's not going to pass through here. So it's not going to stop right now. It's not going to pass through here. Right? It's not going to stop right now. Fine. No, Russia is glad on that or happy for that because that Nord Stream pipeline never necessarily devastated their economy, but it hit them. It was a punch in the belly. It was a punch in the belly economically for them because they were providing gas for Europe. Okay, fine. So use them. Since you want to use them, but in doing that, you have to make the boundaries clear. You have to make everything that you're doing or saying be in black and white. You have to address this whole BRICS thing first. I'll say it again. You have
Yeah.
to make them know that, okay, you have a BRICS currency that you say is going to come on stream in November, but the BRICS currency is saying now that, okay, it is 55 US to one BRICS. Now, if we are
Yeah.
a part of BRICS, we have to have an exemption. You do not take my money that I have and say, okay, it's going to be 1,000 of what you have to make one. No, no, no. A part of BRICS is going to mean that the same currency that you're going to use, I'm going to have to be able to use that too. So there are many things to be fine-tuned and find detail before any agreements are made. And that's what they need to know. You don't just run and sign and jump and say, okay, I'm a part. You have to get the finer details.
All right.
You have
All
to
right.
get
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for that. I'm just picking up on TikTok here, and this point what you say here is cool breeze. Africa has to be free indeed, not pick between the lesser of two evils. Please do not be fooled. Please don't swap one colonizer for another. I think it's the same as swapping black dog for monkey. Africa has a
Mhm.
chance. Africa has a chance to be free. Please do not squander this for empty promises. Now,
Mhm.
Jamaican and Ashrak, I think Ashrak, this is what you're actually saying in a way. Am I correct? Does it
Mhm.
resonate what you're saying? Is
Absolutely.
what
Absolutely.
why Africa cannot stand on its own in a way, but still have a relationship, Jamaican. Why Africa cannot stand in a way more tall and have these guys, Russia, whatever, at arm's length and not feeling like one
Mhm.
is actually, because one will get the impression that Russia is also maybe using Africa or these countries in Africa against the West, weaponizing the West against the West.
Mhm.
What do you think? And I'll go back to Ashraf.
Mhm.
So again, I was saying before that you have to understand power, right?
Yeah,
You can just, and from the military perspective, which I always speak about the military perspective, because at the end of the day, if anybody can say anything, but if you can't defend it, it don't mean anything at all. You have to can defend what you're saying.
yeah,
So if Africa should just get up and just start deciding, all right, they are going to just cut off everybody. Or you go cut off everybody when they don't have any infrastructure. They don't have any military
yeah,
infrastructure set up. They don't have. You have to have certain
yeah,
things before they can
yeah,
become fully
yeah,
independent. It's uncomfortable
yeah,
and it's definitely not the best situation.
mm,
But again, you have to understand it's a chess game.
yeah,
You can't just jump up and say, you know what, we don't want to deal with Russia. And we don't want to deal with the USA. We're going to do it
yeah.
by ourselves. You
Well,
can't go do it by
yeah,
yourself because you don't have
yeah,
the necessary things in
yeah,
place to where you can do it
yeah.
again. So you
Well,
have to understand that she made a point that
mm,
they are using us, but at the end of the day, everybody's using somebody.
yes,
So they
And
are
I did say that. Why are you talking? Why are you're making a point out of a point that doesn't
mm,
need that is not object are not opposites. I said use them for the protection because had they not been there, I know that France Macron would have done what he wanted to do. He would have made military invasion. He would have done that. Okay, I know he would have done that. But it's the whole France, it's the whole Russia and China that's actually keeping them at bay. Okay? Now, what they have done, other players have come on, other players have come in. North Korea has come in. And North Korea is saying to them, we can sell you weapons. We can sell you weapons, right? So we can weaponize you. And no issue. But if you listen to what I said, what I said is, since they are using us, use them back. That's what I said. And I said, okay, but in using that, make sure that you fine tune all the deals that you are making, that you are not left to become a tenant in Africa when all this is done. Because these people are always taking and taking and taking. That's what they know to do.
well, what I'm picking up here, and I see a common ground here, coming from Cool Breeze on TikTok, hearing what you're saying, Ashraf, and what Jamaican is saying. I think we all are in agreement with relationships to exist, whether it is
Mm-hmm.
France or whatever like that. But at the same time, for Africa nations to actually stand tall and keep them at arm's length to a certain extent, but not to swing too much to one side. Me all for Russia. Russia flag all over the place and away from France because in a way it is like you are now placed in a position where you are like a puppet
yeah,
and they can
Mm-hmm.
use you as much as you want. So,
Mm-hmm.
and as someone said, the West do not want Africa to produce anything, but Africa can make it all themselves. African for African affairs. Why can't we say that? Why can't we do that? African for African affairs, America for American affairs, but that doesn't mean to say they did not have relationship, even though Trump will say what he said, um we are patriotic or whatever, but of course they are investing and they are exporting and importing to everywhere in the world. So Africa should be in a position like that whereby, I mean, it beggars belief every time I hear about Shell and all these companies which are in Africa actually raping Africa in Africa. It's like when I hear Nigeria, for argument's sake, is having independence, and I'm saying independence from in Africa. I can understand Jamaica, because you're not in Africa. You're in like another country out there. But in Africa, African country within Africa, celebrating independence from Britain. That don't make sense, Greg.
After Jamaica.
no sense.
Can you imagine? After Haiti, And we are here thinking that Africa, because when this whole thing started, I was on an
Yeah.
African live and I spoke and I said, I thought Africa was building to receive me to come back. But I realize now that there's a level of tribalism and traditions that they hold steadfast to. That, okay, some traditions are fine, you know,
Yeah.
some traditions hold basic morals and principles, right? But there is too much division. Remember, the Europe went into Africa
Yes.
and they were fighting each other for the spoils. And that German military head said to them, listen, come on, let's have a let's have a summit. It was called the Berlin Summit. I think it was 1884, 1885. And they had the Berlin Summit. And they said amongst themselves, these are Caucasian white countries saying, listen, it's big enough, but all of we can get some of it. So, we have to fight each other. You, France, take what you want over the West, you take whatever. The only country that never received much, and people don't know that was part of the trigger for World War One,
Mm.
Germany. The same person who hosted the thing, they didn't get much of the lands in Africa, right? And they came together, they got cohesive, they made decisions, and they came in and they raped and they plundered. People talk about Holocaust, and they only talk about the Holocaust that was committed by Germany with the Jews. There was also a Holocaust that was committed by Germany in Africa before
Yes.
that Holocaust that
Yes.
wasn't spoken about. There's a
Yes. Yes.
Holocaust that Leopold did in the Congo. You're not talking about Patrice
Yeah.
Lumumba. People don't know the history of this place.
Yes.
It's not
I,
going
I
to
I
be
mean,
easy. It's
I
too
mean,
diverse.
a lot of people, including myself, was actually surprised and just learning about this Holocaust in Germany with Black Africans as well.
You're not millions.
Is it 1884 you're
Millions.
talking the Berlin Conference, yeah?
The Berlin
1884.
Conference, yes. Yes.
1884, also known as the Congo Conference or West Africa Conference, met on 15th of November 1884 and after an adjournment concluded on 26th of February 1885 with the signature of a general act regulating European colonization and trade in Africa. European colonization. European
Of a
colonization.
continent.
Virgin.
They
Virgin.
have, they have, e- they have even dumbed down the size of Africa. Africa can hold in Russia, America, China. Africa is vast. Remember, there was this young man. I said before, this man from America, he used to do his little thing. He tell you that, listen, we're being fooled, we're being tricked. He said, if you walk through the Grand Canyon, you're into Africa. And all of a sudden, the Grand Canyon full of the military, and he was unalived.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just the other day Japan came out saying that they just found 7,000 islands. Right at Japan, they just found 7,000 islands. How
Mm.
are 7,000 islands hidden? They just came up now with one that is found near Australia. Another continent called Zealandia. Look up Zealandia. Zeala.
Z
Zealandria.
Z E
It
A.
is Zelandria is Zelandria. It is 1 point. It is nine. It is 9.1, 9.5 million miles long. Zelandria. They say it's below the Pacific. They're just finding these places. They take us for idiots.
Is Zealand a real
It is a-
continent? Are they officially?
another country. Yo, tell you. Hello. They have just so dumbed down. They have even in
Hold on, Ashrag, let Jamaican say. What you saying?
Yeah, I was saying that it's a lot of lies they're telling us because I was very also that Africa is not that far away from Jamaica like what we think.
no, no.
Zealandia.
So they take you
Zealandia.
DRIA,
The R.
Zelandria. Not
The hold on.
DRIA.
Me look on the one which is underground. There's another one which them say named Zealandia, which is under the
Yeah,
sea.
I think that's it. They say it's most of it is below the Pacific.
Oh, it's the same
But
one. It has been
yeah.
described
So
various as a submerged continent, continental
mhm,
fragment, and microcontinent.
Mm-hmm. They're saying that it's submerged, but they measured it. They measured it to know it is 9.5 million miles long. We're not following them. You see, all the Antarctica,
Yeah.
those places that they're protecting, the amount of okay, they speak of they speak of interterrestrial, and then they
Yeah.
give the impression that it is these are beings. These
Mm.
are beings that are going to come from outer space. I don't know if outer space can exist when the firmament divided the waters. So on top of the firmament is water, and
Mm.
below is water. That's what the good book tells me, right? Now, brethren, anybody who is still believing that man went on the moon and India just went
Of
on the
course,
moon the
they
other
took
day. India
pictures.
used a little
Of course,
something.
of course, of course, they took pictures of the man on the moon. You see the picture? Even on internet. What do you mean, man? Go on, go on.
You know, but
When I
Africa,
ask you, when I ask you, Jamaica can say something here. 1 second.
So I was about VFX, meaning that visual effects, like how they use the green screen and they use different technologies to put stuff
thank you,
that sometimes you're watching movie, you swear things say them video the whole thing, and you not even know that
thank you,
it's a computer program they use. So I myself
thank you,
learned to use one of these computer programs. And when I learned to use the program, I realized that I saw it easy to trick the people them.
So you go for moon.
thank you.
Hold on. So you put yourself on moon too.
Because I understand the process of what it takes. It's easier than what you would think. You would think it would be difficult, but
Yeah.
I'm telling you that it's from my experience
It's
and
not.
it's so easy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, 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 no. Back in Africa now. Ali Bongo, Ali Bongo,
Yeah.
Ali Bongo, Ali Bongo father ruled for 40 years. So it becomes a democratic monarchy. Ali Bongo's dad ruled for 40 years. He's been there 26 years. Ali Bongo can barely walk. He
Mm.
went to a meeting in France, and it was the same Macron who had to help his aide to hold his hand to go up the stairs, up the steps. Okay, these people want to stay in there. It's old and they're incapacitated. They can barely think. They have lost cognitive functions, and they want to be there because they want to pass off to the people. They don't care about the people. We think about that country. 90% of the country is underdeveloped. 90% of that country is
Mm.
underdeveloped. Okay, it's just the oil that they're selling out the oil. It has wonderful beaches that I'm investigating and finding out. Okay, they do a lot of lumber, cut down lumbering. The agriculture is big, but what they do is most of the whatever stores they have there is French products that are sold.
Mm.
The schools, whatever schools are run, it's run by the French, and
Mm.
they teach them the French language. They teach them French, right? Just like Niger, I couldn't understand why. Okay, they're using France. France is using euro. They're
Yeah.
using France, and then it takes a certain amount of France
Yeah.
to purchase a
One
euro.
second. Jamaica, you got to go. Yes. Oh, he's gone. He said, "Excellent conversation." He had to dash. Okay, carry on.
You
Yeah.
know, it takes so much and then any okay, say Niger sells or any other African country, say um they sell Sweden oil
Mm.
or bauxite or whatever. Say they get 20 million US. They have to give half of it to France. Half of it belongs to France.
Yeah.
And then the rest now, they take about 10% out, and they send the rest of their 10% that they got, of their 10 million that they got. They when they took say they take out 2 million, they send the
Mm.
other 8 million to France to invest.
Yes.
And France tells them that the investment doesn't have to come back to you. And then they only can borrow 20% of that money that they give them to invest. They don't get it back. We're too fool.
Yes.
We have been dumbed down too
Mm.
long.
Yes. Well. Listen. Let me just before I wrap up, I like to just flag up some of the points coming over from TikTok, which Cool Breeze is saying we can all work together, but the sovereign try loving your brother and speaking the truth. Who makes a division? That's the question. That's a big question. Who's creating the division? What about the Zulus? The Pope, Obama, Kerry, and more all traveled there. Why? You know. Um. So therefore, it it is it is interesting. Ashraf, someone just said a while ago, divine traveler. They said, what is this so informative? Hashtag for Black History teacher. Are you going to be in Black History? No, it's very important because most time Black History, especially in Black History Month in the UK, it's always perpetuating the same narrative. But you got some voices which are very loud, which are coming through, dissecting and
Mhm.
blowing up some of the lies at the same time. That
Mhm.
is why when people are shouting and saying, let us have Black history taught in school, I always say, who is going to teach that Black history in school? Because
Ooh.
the real Black history, I don't think they're going to allow that to be taught in school, because that would be
No.
giving truth and knowledge. I'm Cool Breeze. Got to go, brother and sister. I love you all. All the best, Cool Breeze. Thank you so much. I followed you as well. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yes, actually, who is going to teach those in school? The truth of Black history is not something that going to be taught in school, because that is going to it's like it's like in the UK. I understand when Roots came out, Kunta Kinte, man start to look upon them white friend now different way,
Different.
and that was
You
Kunta
you
Kinte,
have to.
that was Roots. And what if you see something beyond Roots, depth,
Mhm.
things about
Mhm.
things that we are finding out now, things that have been
Mhm.
kept hidden,
Mhm.
and people come
Mhm.
to realize who they are and acknowledge
Mhm.
self. And that is why I
Mhm.
believe very strongly that, especially in Jamaica now, I don't think we understand really the roots or roots. Yes, we got the superficial bit at times, and we're just hearing about our national heroes, but I don't believe people can actually be so asleep just because of hand to mouth or trying to make a living. If you understand who you are, you rise up.
You
And
rise up. You
you
rise
rise,
up.
you rise up if you understand who you are. You understand certain things. So that's
And
why they're dumbing down
you know what
education.
makes you rise up? You know what
Yeah.
makes you rise up, Silborn? What makes you rise up is a realization that your seed doesn't have a future on the projection that we're going.
Yes.
That should make you rise up. When you
Yes.
see that they are looking after because they pass everything down. Because you know what was said some time ago. The man said, "Listen, the rich plans for 3 generations, the poor
Mm.
plan for Saturday night.
Yes.
The rich plan for 3 generations, the poor plan for Saturday night." Okay,
Yeah.
no, that is so hurting. That is so truthful.
Mm.
It hurts you, but it's a truth.
Mm.
It is a blatant truth in your face. You
Yes.
understand?
Yes.
Because if people are not realizing that on the trajectory that we're going right now, where they're taking us, if it
Yes.
doesn't anger you to know that your child or your offspring, your seed, and don't call them kids, because English language is like witchcraft, and they,
Yes.
they designed it that way. Their offsprings are called children, ours are called kids because they put them to animals, your goats,
Yeah.
so that
I
they
know
can do what they will with them.
one of my brethren always said, don't call your children kids. Don't say kids, because you recognize the truth. And he said, don't call them kids.
Don't call
Stop
them
calling
kids. They're
them
not
kids.
kids. They are children.
Yes.
And if
Yes.
people are not angered at the thought that there is no looking on, there is no future. Whether you are just putting food on the table and can barely exist, fine. But then what are you going to leave for them? What are you going
Yes.
to leave for them? Realize. So that's supposed to anger you. A man, that's why I know the black man, he's losing the fight. And it's leaving the women. The women are the ones standing by themselves who need an embrace every now and then, who needs to say, I'm there. Even if
Yes.
we are going in front of the men, at least we know that there are backbones, they're behind us. But we have nothing behind us. When we look behind us, it's the children that we see. the hurt
Yeah.
and the pain of being
Yeah.
alone.
Yes.
You understand?
Mm.
It's what we're gonna do. What we're gonna do. But before I go, let me tell Jamaicans,
Yes.
season two of Beryllium began last weekend. Okay?
Really.
Season
And
two
that,
of Beryllium.
and that is leading ultimately to.
This ultimately to a cashless society.
Mm.
So season two of Beryllium, season one ended with a public-private partnership between Beryllium and the government. So what needed to be done wasn't done fast enough. People are still not giving into it, still hesitant. So now they come out again with season two of Beryllium. So be careful how long you stay at these ATMs. If you see them coming, just take away yourself because it's the same actors who are acting. Because you're not gonna hear
Mm.
about, hear the name. They have made arrests, but you got no names. You got no
Yeah,
addresses,
yeah. I
nothing.
keep, I keep hearing. Yeah, they come out with all these sensational headlines sometimes, and you're like,
Yes, so
okay,
let's not be fooled.
and you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, okay, okay. Can you say something a bit more? You know. But
Mm-hmm.
listen, I believe that, and I find that I find that I am actually more moved to talk on these level of conversation because I believe that the more you keep, you cannot speak on these things once and let it be because it will just gone
No.
again. You'd have to keep pressing it and keep on and on and on about it.
Because that's what they do. They do systemic mind setting. They use words and sound and music and vibrations to keep us focused and to keep us believing what they're saying. So for us to pass up information, it can't be a one go. It's something that you have to repeat because that's how the mind learns.
Can I just say this before I go? When last have you heard the discussion about the Republic? Since my
Um
last week.
oh I have not seen any. What I saw was a snippet, like someone came up to the mic, and I think at this point in time, the PM must have been there or passing through because he just came up and said, "Oh, I'm just here to say, here, Mr. Prime Minister," and they cut off from there. Was what that was it. It's all a facade. It's a game. It's a process that has to happen. So they're just doing it because it has to happen to say that they did it. This other lady who's on the platform, she's on TikTok now, venting, and she's like, what anybody want to say about her. And she's on the panel. She's supposed to be a lawyer. It's a farce. It's a farce. It's
Yes.
all a farce. But what can we do?
Yes,
People are
because
just not
yes,
responding.
yes, because I recognize this that if you don't keep the momentum going, and every time you have that slack, where it slacks off, and you start
Mm-hmm.
again, it's like you're starting the ball all over again, and people say, "What is?" Because
Mm-hmm.
the continuity, because
Mm-hmm.
something like this. Listen, they're not serious. They're
They're
not
not
serious.
serious.
Well, no, no, they're
They're not serious.
serious with what they want.
Mm-hmm.
Serious with what they want, but they're not serious in educating the masses of people as to what the process and the reason and the rationale about. That's what
You
I.
know, before you go, there's something to be said,
Mm,
and it is it is very it's very troubling. Our food sources have been contaminated by GMO things and scientifically modified things like our shrimps and our lobsters. They are compromised. Um, Persons who are purchasing seeds from RADA and all of these grain stores, they're compromised seeds. They're
yes,
GMO. So we need to understand that we have to go take it to find a farmer who have in pumpkin that full of seeds because GMO,
yes,
the purpose of GMO is to stop you from reproducing. So they give
yes.
you things that are seedless.
Mm,
Find something. We need to do something. People, we need to learn how to keep rice, flour, cornmeal for years without it
yes,
going bad. We need to start prepping. Things need to be done. If you can buy one tissue out of roll, you can buy a canned thing put down. But we need to start prepping. Hard times are coming. Things are
yes,
happening. And it's coming down to crunch time.
yes,
Thank you,
yes.
God, for this platform.
Thank you so much. And we keep the momentum going. And thank you for your videos, interesting ones. What we have to do sometime is to identify a couple of these videos sometime and dissect it a bit more as well. All the best and enjoy Jamaica.
Okay, though.
All right.
Then you too, England. All right. Thank
Yeah,
you
man.
for
Take care of yourself. God bless you. Bye-bye. Bye. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for joining this evening on Talk and Sip. The topic which I had was SSL and the teachers, and we touched on that, but I find myself keep going back to Africa, the awakening of Africa. I find myself keep going back to the people being awake to many things, not just in Africa, the continent of Africa, but the Afro-centric Afro people, you know what I mean? Black people as well. Because I recognize without a doubt that the success of our people will be the united factor when we all come together. But until we come together still, we can still unite with those who are together and to fight against oppression, fight against rape, fight against things which are seeming to dampen the rise of the black man, the black woman. Because as my colleague said earlier, we got to look behind and to see who is coming behind us. Who is coming behind us is going to be those children. Those children who are actually hoping and trusting that their battles will not be the battles that they're fighting today. The battles that we are fighting today, their battles will be their battles because we have fought our battles. Therefore, we've got to understand and recognize who we are. And when we speak about, as I said earlier, about Black History and Black History Month, which is coming on, especially in the UK, may I remind persons that who is going to teach real and true Black history in school to awaken the mind? Because when the mind is awakened and a man comes to himself and he recognizes who he really is, then he becomes dangerous. Who wants a man to be dangerous? Who wants a black man to be dangerous? Many people say that once a man comes to himself and knows who he is, yes, he becomes dangerous because identity is a powerful factor. And I'm on a quest and using my platform, my program to wake up the mind of persons to recognize who they are. And we're all equal under the sun and under God. But we've got to recognize the great potential, the magnitude of strength and power which is within us as we, navigate this earth. Because we're on this earth for a season. And for that season that we're on, we got to know the reason why we're on this earth. And then we got to recognize that we have a part to play. And we got a path and a road to tread and to follow. We got a mighty long road. Mighty long road to follow. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. My name is Silburn Sidil. Talk and Sip Saturday night. Remember to like and subscribe on YouTube, Silburn TV. I can see the subscriptions going up. Thank you so much for joining. And for TikTok as well. Come along with me, fair enough. And for Facebook and YouTube and Instagram as well. Thank you so much. Have a good night, and may God bless you, and see you on Thursday night on In Review, and then Saturday night again. And of course, look at my regular videos and my walk and talk in the park, where I utter motivational words and inspiration, because we need that. And we've got to be motivated from within, which is more important. Be motivated from within. Don't wait some time for external factors to motivate you. Find the key factor that will motivate you from within. Okay? God bless you. Peace out. Bye-bye.
Let's go.